California Chrome is a big winner tonight. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Siemny Chhuon. And we're getting new information about the tour bus driver who died in the crash. But I did have a chance to speak with family and friends of Mary Norman earlier today, and they say that police confirmed with them that the body had on the same clothing as when Mary disappeared. Breaking news, gunfire erupts at Peregrine Park in Natomas, turning a birthday party into mass chaos. Was this pilot error? Because there are some witnesses saying that the nose looked like it was too high, that it was possibly the back of the plane that hit that seawall. It's just a couple of inches below flood level, and if it does that, should it overtop its banks, this is why it's a real problem. Just because you can have 8 patties and a Big Mac, should you really do it?
You know what? That's like meal for like a month. That's a meal for a month right there.
Yeah, I'm getting sick. All right. Somebody once told me, you know what my favorite kind of beer is?
What is it?
Cold.
Ah, of course.
Closer to home, a local POW shares his perspective on Bergdahl's release. We've got live team coverage from Travis Air Force Base. We'll hear from those who witnessed the crash from the stands. What we're getting right now is a little bit more of just a misting of rain. But if you take a look over here, you can see how much snow has piled up from this snowstorm. The number of patients being transported to regional hospitals across the area. We know that 4 to 5 of them are at Mercy Medical Center in Redding, another 9 here at Enloe Medical Center. Behind me, you can see the doors to the emergency room entrance. San Francisco officials say several mini cars have been tipped over in the middle of the night, but police don't know if this is a protest or a prank. There's a lot of things they've got to consider, obviously. When was this recorded? Was it actually, in fact, Donald Sterling? So many things that they have to filter through, and you're right. Big test for a new NBA commissioner. Monty, I really just want to piggyback off of that because those black boxes are going to be so critical to this investigation. It's those flight data recorders, those cockpit recorders that they're really going to be looking for to really see what went wrong, because that's going to outline those final moments before that plane crash landed. Of course, we've heard from various witnesses, but until we actually hear and see what's on those black boxes, they won't really know. And during that press conference in Washington, D.C. today, we heard the chairwoman repeatedly asked, was this pilot error? Because there are some witnesses saying that the nose looked like it was too high, that it was possibly the back of the plane that hit that seawall heading into the runway. And you could see that she was refusing to speculate at that point. She said that basically she just wanted to get to the scene. They had to fly out here. They had to touch base with all of the investigators that are currently here and trying to gather as much information as they can so that GO team can really hit the ground running. The Golden State is facing its worst wildfire season ever. Governor Brown offered that warning today, saying the state is preparing for it. And just to put it in perspective, CAL FIRE reporting that so far this year they've been fighting 1,500 wildfires, and in an average year they only have 800. So we certainly have to prepare for the worst. Suzanne, thanks. The toll, 25,000 acres burned, at least 1 person dead, and nearly 50 homes destroyed. Families are returning home after wildfires forced them to leave everything behind. Many say that they're ready to move on and pick up the pieces, but for other evacuees, today's homecoming was a joyous reunion.
It was just such a wonderful blessing to be back here home.
The San Marcos fire is the last of 4 remaining blazes still burning, including 3 at Camp Pendleton Marine Corps Base. Firefighters have been helped by the weekend's cooler temperatures and calmer winds. After yesterday's win, California Chrome is now on course to go 3 for 3 and bring home the Triple Crown. There is a lot of excitement for California Chrome, and Chrome fever is running high everywhere, but especially in Yuba City, where the co-owners of the horse live. And California Chrome really has made things really exciting. I think he's made a lot of people fans who really weren't before, including me. I'm a Chromie for life. Running through some of tonight's other top stories, a man is shot and killed in Stockton. Now police are working to track down multiple shooters. You're looking at the scene from earlier this morning where a man was found dead inside a detached garage of a home on West 7th Street. Officer Joe Silva joined us live on News 10 Mornings. He says it is gang related.
Yeah, this neighborhood is a lot of gang activity. We do have drive-by shootings.
Right now, police do not have any suspect descriptions. If you know anything, call 911. A rare apology coming from North Korea's government. Officials there are expressing regret over the collapse of an apartment building that was under construction in the country's capital. This photo shows a North Korean officer publicly apologizing for the disaster with a salute. The country is not releasing a death toll, but a South Korean official says hundreds may have died. Officials say the collapse happened because construction, quote, was not properly done. Someone spotted a body floating in the river near I Street earlier today, and family members tell me that based on the tattoos, the coroner's office has confirmed it's missing woman Mary Norman. Loved ones watched as Mary's body was recovered from Discovery Park this afternoon. But for family and friends, the mystery into her death deepened.
We want to know what happened. We want to know. We need that comfort for us. We got to explain to her children why mommy's not there, why mommy's not coming home no more.
The 27-year-old mother of two disappeared Tuesday night. She was on a boat near Sand Cove Beach with a group of people, including her boyfriend, when she somehow ended up in the water.
At the time, detectives were called in to interview everyone that was with the missing person when she was last seen.
Sacramento police say there doesn't appear to be foul play. They say alcohol was involved, and it appears she went in on her own. But loved ones don't buy that. What's suspicious to them, her friends left the area, docked at Miller's Park, and then called for help.
Too many stories, too many different stories, too many people saying they weren't on the boat, then they were on the boat. What is the truth?
Authorities searched the water for the last couple of days, but nothing turned up. Then this afternoon, someone who just happened to be in the area spotted a body floating in the water north of I Street. Police recovered the body at Discovery Park.
I'm angry, I'm hurt, I want to know what happened to my friend.
We want answers.
But at least she's home. And we're going to go from here to the next step.
Even though Mary Norman's body has been recovered, her family says the work is just beginning. In Sacramento, Siemny, Chhuon, News 10.
She's wanted for murder and on the run.
Citrus Heights police are looking for a transgender woman after a botched illegal silicone injection. News 10's Siemny Chhuon spoke to the suspect's sister. She joins us live from the newsroom with this News 10 exclusive.
Alejandra Aguilera Ortega is a fugitive on the run since December when authorities issued a warrant for her arrest. And it appears officials could be getting closer to finding her using online escort ads in their investigation. It was in this Citrus Heights apartment police say transgender escort Alejandra Aguilera Ortega operated a house of horrors, illegally injecting people with silicone injections, which ultimately killed another transgender woman, Amelia Lopez Zaquilan, more than 1 year ago. Where is she now?
I don't know.
The suspect's sister, Maria Mendoza, says she hasn't been in contact with Aguilera Ortega for the last 6 months.
I don't want to be involved with the problems she has.
LGBT news site Edge San Francisco highlighted the dangers of black market silicone injections shortly after Zaquilan's death. The 22-year-old trans woman lived in Oakland, but went to Aguilera Ortega's apartment for silicone injections into her buttocks last April. She ended up getting sick and was transported to Mercy San Juan Hospital, where she died a week later.
I know it was an accident. A lot of her friends would come and get that done, and I know it wasn't intentional.
A warrant was issued for her arrest in December, and now authorities may be closing in on her whereabouts. Police say she's an escort, using the nickname Sexy Rachel on Backpage.com. This ad shows it was posted this past April. The same contact number appears on other adult sites going back at least a couple of years. Neighbors like Daniel Cole say it's all making sense now.
I would see just random guys come in and out and women back and forth.
He had a hunch something illegal was going on in her apartment, but was stunned to hear about the allegations.
That's gross.
Mendoza says she often warned her sister about the risks of her operation.
I knew it was wrong, and I would tell her something like this would happen one day.
Mendoza says she thinks her sister is on the run because she's scared, and she does not think her sister is in the Sacramento area. Live in the newsroom, Siemny Chhuon, News 10.
Sacramento woman is still mourning the loss of her sister and then dealt another devastating blow when she lost a locket containing the ashes of her sister. She said it was like losing her sister all over again. Now, it started out as a nightmare, but this story does have a happy ending. As News 10's Siemny Chhuon tells us, it's all thanks to a good Samaritan and the power of social media.
It says always.
Wearing this locket close to her heart means Bianca Cisneros is never without her sister Andrea, who they all call Drea. Everyone knows some of Drea's ashes are in the locket, even Bianca's young daughter, who noticed it was missing.
When she looked down to try to give Drea kisses, and I said, "Oh my God, where's Drea?" And I just wanted to just started crying.
While most of Drea's remains are in this urn at her mother's house, this is all Bianca has left of Drea. Her sister was in Seoul, South Korea, where she was teaching English to kids. Drea suddenly died of the flu in January. Losing her then was made even more devastating when the family had to battle bureaucratic red tape just to bring her remains home.
My stomach started hurting. It was like
we lost her again, and now we have to find her.
Bianca knew she lost it at this Elk Grove Jamba Juice on Saturday. She immediately began retracing her steps.
So many questions were running through my mind, like, who would have picked it up, or would someone return it if they did find it?
It turns out someone did find the precious locket and posted a picture of it on Facebook, which got hundreds of thousands of shares. And Bianca connected with the woman who found it.
It touched her. She also cried. She was like, I'm so glad that I was able to find you. So it was just it was one of those moments like, there is good people out there.
The reunion made even sweeter now that Drea's fiance is visiting them in Sacramento. Bianca and the rest of the family feel closer to her, getting to know the man she loved and was about to marry.
And I put it on and I said, you're never going to leave me again. So she's staying there. Basically, I heard her telling me, all right, bunkers, you learned your lesson now. Don't take me off.
Bianca explained she usually takes her locket off to shower because she doesn't want any water seeping in. Now, the Saturday she lost it, she says she was in such a rush to get to work, probably just fell out of her hands, but likely not going to be happening again.
You know, it's still amazing all of the hits that that they got on Facebook when they posted it. And
It truly goes to show the power of social media and how many people out there truly wanted to help this person reconnect with this lost locket because they knew that it would be valuable to them.
So it wasn't just posting the picture, but she must have written a heartfelt story that really touched a lot of people, and as you say, wanted to help her get it
Absolutely.
Back. Well, from farm to fork to fuel, Sacramento is at the forefront of the movement Closing the Loop.
That's where food is grown locally, it feeds the community, and the organic food waste is converted into renewable energy.
I need fuel.
This scene from 80s classic Back to the Future 2 was way ahead of its time, using food as fuel. But here we are in South Sacramento doing just that, and the rest of the country is marveling at what was once movie magic.
When we first started, they thought we were a little crazy.
Sacramento is leading the nation in diverting organic waste that would have gone into a landfill and using it to produce renewable gas. So after you eat your banana, you throw the peel in the trash. It's eventually dumped here at this South Sacramento facility and then turned into compressed natural gas, which powers trucks like these. The future is now, thanks to this, the biodigester, which was invented by a UC Davis scientist. Locally based company Clean World commercialized it, and trash company Atlas Disposal runs the fueling station known as Atlas Refuel. Half of Atlas's fleet is powered by the very waste it hauls. The city of Sacramento also fills up there, powering trucks that once ran on diesel.
The more fossil fuel we can conserve, the better, and especially as it comes to, reducing our dependence on foreign oil in particular.
From dump to pump takes 21 days. The trash comes from restaurants like Broderick's in West Sacramento. A separate bin collects the leftovers.
It just makes sense. A huge portion of our leftover waste is food waste.
Owner Chris Yarosh also owns a couple of food trucks. He's looking to close the loop and is working on retrofitting a food truck that will run on natural gas.
It's really amazing to think that the technology is where it is now.
The city also just launched a pilot program in the Elmhurst neighborhood to collect food waste for the biodigester. If successful, it could be expanded citywide. Right now, they're expanding, quadrupling the amount of food the biodigester can take in and how much gas is produced. So we may be ahead of the movie's predictions by 1 year. Marty and Doc actually ended up in the year 2015. But hey, maybe this means time travel isn't so far-fetched after all.